Hey y'all, welcome to yet another, excuse me, perfect. Hey y'all, welcome to yet another direct action gaming session. My name is Sean, and today, boppers, we'll be heading back to the gang-ridden streets of New York. We're going to be checking in on that real live bunch. You know, the ones from Coney. The Warriors have a big target on their backs, and they're going to need to bop their way home if they want to survive. So we gonna have us a rumble today. That's right, y'all. It's time for a full playthrough of the Warriors. Come out to play. Since I already did a tutorial video, I won't harp on the details too much. Although that was a long video, so I won't blame you if you didn't watch the whole thing. In a nutshell, we got the board set up for a simple two-player game. I've selected Mercy and Cochise as our characters because I just like their vibes. Plus, they have different starting weapons, and I've learned having a variety of weapons on your team is best. So the goal of every game is the same. We got to fight or run our way from the Bronx all the way home to Coney. And once we're all home, then we need to win the final showdown against the gang with the highest rep. If our rep, meaning the Warriors rep, ever falls too low, then it's game over, so we'll always need to be keeping an eye on that. Also, I got a new mic that works with my phone. There we go. One of them little lavalier mics with the big fuzzy windscreen top. It's called a windscreen. I learned that. So yeah, hopefully y'all can hear me a bit better with this fancy Bluetooth mic. I was definitely noticing that my audio was cutting out a little bit here and there as I moved further away from the phone to grab components for the game and whatnot. So hopefully this fixes that. Anyway, without further ado, let's head to the board and get a good look at everything. So we're going to do a flipperoonie here so that y'all can see. All right. Okay. Yeah, so here's everything, plus my coffee that I hope they won't spill all over the place. Got our little dice tray here. The game comes with exactly 5 die because you can't ever roll more during an attack. We'll see how that works in a bit. But anyway, yeah, for the most part, this is the board. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna go over the details too much, but I would like to give y'all a good look at everything here, especially these models that I took a decent amount of time to paint. I still think this is just really neat how like these models represent the reputation track for all the most major gangs. So we're going to be fussing around with these models and moving them during the game to like represent where the Warriors rep and or that guy in the middle there, Swan with the red vest, he represents the Warriors and the Warriors' overall reputation. So we do not want it to slide below the end here, which is where the rogues currently are in slot number 7 there. So the rep of the Warriors and the other gangs are going to be changing throughout the course of the game, and we want to try and keep our rep as high as possible. So we'll see it if we can do that. And like I said, we got 2 characters here. We have our little movers, which represent where our warriors are in the city. We start up here in the Bronx. We got our weapons and our war cards over here for our 2 warriors. Mercy is going to be our instigator, so she will be the first person to go. The game starts with a predetermined fight. So we start in the Van Cortlandt Park location. And the gang that we are going to be fighting is the Lizzies. So we're going to have to follow that special rule there on each turn of this fight, discard any dice that roll the same number. So if we get doubles, they get tossed out, and that's not ideal now, is it? Yeah, so here's the basically the gang area for when we're going to be fighting gangs. These are the decks down here that we're going to be drawing from. There's only 3 decks for this game. War deck is for, doing attacks. Each warrior can be armed with up to 2 weapons. Molotov, as you can see, is basically a wild card type of weapon. You can just toss that. It counts as any kind of weapon, and it's a single use. It says one use, because when you throw a Molotov, you ain't getting it back. So anyway, yeah. And as you can see, like with both weapons and war cards, there's always going to be 3 cards available for us to take as we're moving around the map, and we get to take stuff. We get to find new resources. We'll see how that works in a bit. Bopper deck is basically the stealth thing, more or less. And this is pretty much the only way to customize the game as well, because when you look in the Bopper deck, you will see some of these cards that say coast is clear. And that basically, well, as it implies, the coast is clear. Nothing's happening. So you can remove a certain amount of coast is clear cards to basically ensure that you're going to be getting a lot more threats, and therefore a lot more fights are going to happen more often. So I haven't messed with the deck at all yet, though. We have all our Coast is Clear cards in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm not going to explain absolutely positively everything. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to do a full playthrough today. We're going to try to get to Coney, so let's get started. I'm going to pause this, and then we're going to set this camera up on the tripod and get to it. All right. So there we go. Y'all should be able to see a good bird's eye view of the board here as we play the game. So like I said, let's get to it. Harry is staring at me from the closet. We'll see if he makes a guest appearance this time like he did for the last video. We shall see, y'all. All right. So, as I said, the game starts with a predetermined fight at Van Cortlandt Park. And since Mercy is the instigator, she goes first. So we are starting with her, and she does the first attack. Now, since we're going against the Lizzies, let's see here. It looks like any weapon could be used to cover at least one of these weapon slots, because we're seeing brass knuckles, switchblade, chain, or bat. I believe that's all 4 weapons, right? Yes. Anyway, there is these 2 that we have to cover on the top of the card, and then the amount of spaces you need to cover on the bottom is a bit of a variable. It depends upon how many warriors how many players you have in your game, plus the reputation spot only needs to be covered if the gang you're fighting has a higher rep than you. So once again, that's where rep comes into play game-wise. The Lizzies do have a lower rep than us, so we don't have to worry about covering that slot. So we just need to do 4 slots, basically. 2 up here, 2 down here. So we might as well, let's see. We could start with a weapon. Since Mercy has a switchblade, we could do this. And then Cochise has his chain. We could cover this spot down here, and then we'd need to just cover 2 more spots. So let's do that. So the way this works is when you use a weapon all by itself, you just kind of flip it over, and that indicates that it's been used. So now that Mercy used her switchblade, we just cover this spot, and it's really that simple. That was Mercy's turn. She was able to get a hit. And if we ever can't get a hit for whatever reason, that person is knocked out. So let's try to make sure that doesn't happen. Cochise, I think, will just use his chain. What are his special attacks again? Yeah, intimidation is a good one. Plain old throw hands. All right. Are there any? Yeah, okay. Yep. Might as well just use chain. So we flip that. We're going to just use the chain and we cover that. That's 2. Head on back to Mercy. Now we need to roll die. A die. Well, not necessarily. Well, yeah, we do. Because Mercy already used her weapon, that means we can't use it again. Weapons don't recharge until the fight is over, so now we are going to have to play war cards to get die to be able to attack, basically. Each war card will have a symbol in the upper left corner that'll show you how many die it will give you, basically. And if you want to do an attack, you can just play as many war cards as you want to get X amount of die. Now, 5 is the maximum amount of die that we can get anyway, so let's see. Mercy doesn't have an awful lot of options here. She doesn't have a single card that just gives you 2 die. So I might have to do a throw hands and a streetwise for Mercy. We'll put that in her discard pile, and that will give us 2 die to roll. And as long as we can get either a 3 or a 4, we are good. And we got a 4 and a 5. Okay. So that means Mercy's attack has succeeded, and now Cochise has to do something similar. We covered the 4 spot. Now Cochise needs to get a 3. Also, yes, when you play your war cards, you have a personal discard pile for each warrior. We can see how we will get these cards back eventually so that we can do some more attacks in another fight, but for now, we need to end this fight with Cochise by, I think we'll just play 1 intimidation card. That'll give us 2 die so that we can roll the die again, trying to recall that if we get doubles, Cochise is probably going to, yeah, Cochise will just be knocked out. Unless we play a throw hands card that'll add 1 to the result. And I think we're going to, well, no, we get a 1 and a 3. A 3 is all we need for Van Cortlandt Park, thankfully. So we can cover one of these spots, and with 4 spots covered, we have 1, and it is that simple. So now that we've won the fight, we just remove all the little X's. And then we take the Lizzie's gang leader and put her on the bottom. So the Lizzies are on the bottom of the rep track. We take the Van Cortlandt Park location and remove that from the game because it's never going to show up again. The Lizzies have been temporarily defeated. They might show up again at some other point. The next gang that we might need to contend with, well, that we will need to contend with whenever the next fight happens, is the Hi-Hats. So there is that. All right, so that's everything. We've done everything for winning the fight. So now we transition from fight mode to the city mode. And that means we're going to be moving around. Mercy is going to start because she is currently the instigator. So one final thing we do is we recharge our weapons here. We're going to flip them back over again so that we can use them in the next fight. So Mercy can basically move to any spot that she wants. It's these fight tokens, though, that kind of block you from moving forward. You have to land on a fight token if it's still on the map. But all, let's see, 5 of these spaces are fine for Mercy to go to should she choose to do that. And yeah, I think we'll just have Mercy go on this war card space. So since that's a normal space, we get to draw 1 war card, but we also have to draw just 1 bopper card. So let's see what we get for the bopper card. And it is the Grand Mercy Rifts. So Mercy now has 1 threat. Once we get up to 3 threats, then another fight is potentially going to happen. We only have 1 threat so far, so that's what's going on there. And we can take 1 of these. I think I'm definitely going to take the lead. So Mercy has secured herself yet another war card, and then we pull the top card here. It's snow, baseball bat equals any weapon. Okay. All right, so that was Mercy, and now Cochise can go to this space, which is a threatening space, and that means we need to draw 2 Boppers cards for him. So we get the Fuzz. Cochise has his first threat, and Nowhere to Run. That is the second threat for Cochise. This is not terrible because when he uses his intimidation special move, then that could potentially give us additional die for the amount of threats that he has. So that worked out okay. Since we landed on that weapon spot, Cochise can also choose an additional weapon. And basically we got 2 mollies and a baseball bat here. So I'm thinking we'll do a baseball bat to start with, but maybe Mercy will take the molly perhaps. Okay, draw the top one here. Are you kidding me? It's 3 mollies. Okay, there's 3 of them. All right, we have all the mollies. Okay, so that was Cochise. Now we go back to Mercy again. She will hop over Cochise and go to this normal war card space. And we will draw another bopper card. It says the coast is clear. All right. And like I said earlier, when it says coast is clear, nothing happens. You don't get an additional threat. You put coast is clear in the discard pile here. Okay, so Mercy also gets a war card, so she can choose. We need to save this baseball bat. We might as well give her another throw hands. We could have taken. Yeah, let's just have her take the lead. It's a good card. It gives you 2 dice. Why wouldn't we take that? Where's the next top card is throw hands. Okay. All right, so that was Mercy, and if Cochise moves here, then he can get his war card back. So we might as well do that. Although a fight is going to start if he gets another threat. So that could happen. Let's move him here, pull the bopper card first to see what happens. We get coast is clear, so nothing happens. All right. So that means we can get his war deck back to full strength. That's cool. And now we go back to Mercy. She is going to move to the next space, which is another normal war card space. So Mercy is going to draw another bopper card. That's coast is clear, so nothing happens there. And Mercy can draw another war card. So we're going to draw throw hands. Give that to Mercy. And we get another throw hands to replace it. Okay. Fine, fine, fine. So next up, I think we're going to switch to Cochise, and we're going to have him go to this fight token space. So basically we remove the fight token. That doesn't go back. A fight is going to start with the hi-hats. And instigator is now Cochise. So that is how the instigator changes up when some other person starts another fight. And since both warriors are in the same neighborhood, that is something we're going to have to try to keep in mind. They both get to participate in this fight. So let's see what the location is. It's a graveyard. So we're fighting the hi-hats in a graveyard. The hi-hats are not higher rep than us, so we don't have to worry about covering that rep space. So let's go for it. Okay, we can potentially just cover 3 spots without having to roll any die, so we might as well do that. And then we just need a 4, and we've won this. So as the instigator, I suppose Cochise will go first, and he's going to use his chain to cover that spot. Now we switch over to Mercy. She's going to use her switchblade to cover this spot because she has a switchblade. It says chain or switchblade. And then we go back to Cochise. He will use his baseball bat to cover this other spot. And now we need to go back to Mercy so that she can get that 4. So since we got those take the lead cards, we can play just one of those and get 2 die. And also the special rule for this fight is, we can't use throw hands cards to save ourselves from a low roll, basically. So we'll use throw hands, and Mercy can now roll 2 die to try and get that 4 or more to cover that final space on the top card. And we do get a 4 and a 1, so that does work. Mercy's attack hits, and we just took out the hi-hats, so that's cool. That means the hi-hats are going down to the bottom of the rep chart now, so that happened. And let's see. Yep, we remove all the X's. And then you slide this face up on the bottom. Same thing with the hi-hats here. And then we pull out the next gang. That is the punks. Cool. Simple as that. All right. So recharge our weapons as well. Okay. So since Cochise is now the instigator, we can have him move. If another fight starts, he might need to run away. If I just have him move, I don't want to have him move to the weapon spot. I can have him move to this non-threatening war card spot, and if we're lucky, maybe a fight doesn't start. If we're lucky, we'll do that. I could have him move all the way up to the subway. There's a subway space here, which kind of means you don't pull any bopper cards, but the very next space is another fight. So let's have Cochise move here for now, see what happens. Pull a bopper card, and it says the orphan. So That is Cochise's third threat. That means a fight is going to start, and we have to do the special rule on the threat card, which says if this is your third threat, use a weapon. So we have to turn over, expend one of Cochise's weapons here. And we're also going to need to see what the location is. It's a party, okay? So Cochise is going to have one weapon, and he's going to need to cover 4 spots. Because since he's the only one in the fight, we just need to cover the rep spot and one of these other spots on the bottom there. Let's see if Cochise can do this all by himself, shall we? Let us see. All right, so we're gonna start by using the baseball bat. Now we take all 3 of these threat cards and we shuffle them back into the bopper deck. Meaning Cochise has no threats to add dice if he uses his intimidation skill. So let's reshuffle this deck real quick, shall we? Okay. All right, so we could start. We kind of have to play this card. This is going to allow us to use a chain as any weapon when we play this. So we can play that and the chain, and we can cover this spot here. That's like a requirement. So beyond that, Cochise now just needs to roll die to cover, I think, 2 more spots. We need to get this one, and we need to get the rep down there. So that's 6. So let's see. How about we play intimidation? Oh, also the punk special rule is before the fight, the instigator chooses a warrior in their neighborhood. That warrior discards 2 cards. Okay, since Cochise is the instigator and nobody else is in his neighborhood, I'm going to assume that means I guess we're good. I mean, Cochise is a warrior, but he is also the instigator. So I'm going to assume he does not need to discard 2 of his cards on top of already burning one of his weapons as well. But yeah, let's play intimidate plus throw hands to give Cochise 3 die to roll. And let's see if that does it to cover the rep spot. And we do get 2 6s and a 5, so we do get to cover this rep spot down there. Cool. So now let's play. Let's see. We can play throw hands to get 1 die. This is a little risky. We need to get at least a 3 or more to be able to cover the final spot. And we get a 6, so we're good. Okay. But we do need 1 more, actually. We do need 1 more. Because we need the rep spot plus 1 other spot down here So Cochise is once again going to need to play another card. So we're going to have to play this. Let's see. Oh boy. We need to play this card here and give us 1 die. Let's hope we get a 3 or more once again. Even if we get a 2, that's probably fine because I can use a throw hands card to make that a 2, a 3. And we get a 3, so we're good. Okay, so that means we can cover this spot. And Cochise has 1, but he, oh my gosh, he only has 2 war cards left that he can actually use. So that fight is over. We put the punks at the bottom now, and pretty much everybody, including the warriors, goes up 1 spot since Cochise just defeated the hi-hats, or rather the punks, I should say. All right. Put all that down there. Put the party under there. Goodbye, punks. Yeah. Next one is the rogues. All right. Okay, so that was Cochise. We're going to recharge his weapons here. Cool. All right, so we can have Mercy, I think, go to this threatening war card space. Or we could have her just go to the normal weapon space that she'd only have to draw 1 bopper card, which is the coast is clear, so she's good, and we can score a molly for her. So there's that. Okay. That was Mercy. And now Cochise, we could... Yeah, we'll have him go to this spot. It's a discard pile draw spot, so we can draw 1 card back from our discard pile. I'm actually kind of hoping that we get a threat as well. Its coast is clear. Whatever. Oh, another weapon up here as well is a chain. Okay. All right, so Cochise gets to decide which card from his discard pile he would like back. One of these chain cards would be good. A chain card that could get us 2 die. All right. We'll do that. That's Cochise. So now we'll do Mercy, and we're going to go to... Could go to the normal war card space or the threatening war card space. Might as well go to the normal war card space, so she only has to draw 1 bopper card. And it is the orphan, so that is her 2nd threat. So she's still good, and we do get to draw 1 war card for her. It might as well be throw hands, because she doesn't have a baseball bat. Okay, here's a switchblade card. Mercy could pick up next time. All right, so that was Mercy, and we're going to take Cochise to the subway, so that way nothing happens. He doesn't need to draw bopper cards. And we can have Mercy go to this discard spot again. And she needs to draw another bopper card. And it's no order 1. So a fight starts. And It says, if this is your third threat, each warrior discards a card, then you're challenged to a fight. So both of us need to discard one card. Cochise will... Jeez, this is not great. He only has 3. Let's discard intimidation for him, and then for Mercy, she has plenty of cards. Let's just discard one of the throw hands. Okay, Mercy is now the instigator, and we got to reshuffle the bopper deck. So a bonus fight is going to be happening right before this other fight that's also going to happen next up, pretty much. Fighting the rogues now. We thankfully have both warriors, but Cochise is not doing great. He's kind of tired. Might need to have him rest. Location is going to be back streets. Okay. So instigator is Mercy. We're doing back streets. Let's see. If we do, there's only 2 weapon spots this time. Special rule is on each turn of this fight, you cannot roll more than 2 dice. Okay. Okay. Kind of looks like we're only going to be able to cover 1 weapon spot this time, because for the rogues, it's either... well, no, not really. No, if Mercy uses both of her weapons, she could do this one and that one. And then we would need to do 2 4s at the very least. And we'd be good. Okay, so let's get started. Mercy can cover... Wait a minute. Cochise... All right. I think I know how we can play this. Mercy does the Molotov, which means that gets removed from the game. So she now only has 1 weapon here, but we do get to use that to cover this space for Mercy. Then with Cochise, we're going to use this plus the chain to give us 2 dice to roll. Cochise is going to roll 2 dice and try to cover one of the 4 spots. We do get a 4 and a 2. Cool. So Cochise can cover this spot. Now we got to do 2 on the bottom there. Let's see. Mercy can use her switchblade to cover one of them. And now Cochise is going to need to play his final throw hands card to roll 1 die to try and get a 4 or more. If he fails, he gets knocked out, and then Mercy has to try. He does get a 1, so he fails. So Cochise has been knocked out. So we go back to Mercy, and we see... Let's see here. We can do... No, we can't. Let's see. We can do... Okay, so we'll play these 2 cards. Streetwise and Throw Hands. That'll give Mercy 2 die. And since we're playing Streetwise, another warrior in your neighborhood may return a card from their discard pile to their hand. So that way Cochise has at least something. We're still going to have him rest anyway. But I guess we'll give him back... one of the intimidations. Also, Mercy gets to roll 2 die, and we're looking for a 4 or more. We get a 4 and a 2. Cool. So that means, let's see, we're going to cover the final one, and we are... Oh, wait, no? Yes. Yeah, we're good. Because this gang is not higher rep than us, so we just needed to cover 2 spots on the location thing here. We are good. Cool. So remove all the X's. Boop, boop, boop. Rogues go to the bottom. So Lizzie's are right below us now. All right. That. And that. And we get another gang to potentially fight. Next fight is the Furies. Okay. All right. So we're going to recharge the weapons. And I think we're going to have both people rest before we do this new fight. So Mercy is going to rest, meaning she's going to have to draw 1 bopper card. It is coast is clear. But now she gets to take all of her discard cards back. And she has to remove one random card from the game. So we'll choose this one. That one's gone forever now. Okay. All right, so that was Mercy, and then we're going to do basically the same thing with Cochise, and then I guess Mercy is once again going to be the instigator. So Cochise gets all his cards back, and we have to choose one at random for him. It is throw hands, so that is gone forever. And now Mercy is going to move forward to the next fight token. That is now removed from the board as well, and we are about to leave Uptown to go to Midtown, which is the sort of the biggest area of the map. All right, so now we are fighting the Baseball Furies, and the location is the back streets again. It's the back streets again? Is it? Yeah, it is. I guess. I don't know. I thought I slid that. Yes. Yeah, I slid that on the bottom. It's fine. Got a little confused there. All right, so yes, the Furies do have a higher rep than us, so we are going to need to cover 5 spots here. Mercy is the instigator. She gets to start. So she only has her switchblade. She does not have her Molly anymore. And in this fight, each warrior can only use 1 weapon anyway. So Cochise kind of has to choose which weapon he's going to sort of deactivate. I guess it'll probably be his... I don't know if I want to deactivate his chain. We'll do the baseball bat. I'm pretty sure Mercy has switchblade equals any weapon. Yeah, she has that. So, okay. Cochise cannot use his baseball bat, basically. So Mercy starts. What will she do for her attack? We have to cover this one. So what Mercy might need to do... Well, yeah, she will need to do this. We're going to need to play the switchblade equals any weapon card so we can cover that spot. So we play this, use the switchblade, and that means we can cover that spot up here that says knuckles and or bat, which Mercy does not have, but thanks to that card, boom, that works. Okay. So now we go to Cochise. He can use his chain to cover that spot, or we could use it to give him 2 die. So we have to cover that rep spot. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any threats just yet. Yeah, we'll just play this with the chain, and that'll give him 2 die for 1 card. Can we get that rep spot? If we get a 4, that's good too. Oh, we get a 3 and a 1. So let's see. I think Mercy has take the lead, which means when another warrior in your neighborhood rolls, you may discard this card from your hand to add 1 to a die. All right. So she discarded take the lead to turn that 3 into a success. And that means we can cover the 4 spot up here for Cochise. All right, so that's what happened there. And now we go back to Mercy, and she needs to cover a spot on the bottom here. And she's going to have to get at least a 4 more. We would like to get a 5, though. So might as well do... Okay, we're going to do Streetwise and throw hands. Should I do 2 throw? Yeah, we're just going to do Streetwise and throw hands. That'll give Mercy 2 die. And let's see what she can get. And Cochise gets his card back since Mercy played Streetwise. We get a 5 and a 2, so now the rep spot is covered. Cool. All right. So now we're going back to Cochise, and he just needs to cover that. Wait, no, we need to cover a 5 and a 4 because the gang we're fighting is higher rep. We need to cover 2 spots. Okay. Cochise can do Intimidate and throw hands, I suppose. If he plays these, he can roll 3 die. And let's see if we can cover that other 5 there. We get a 6, so we're good. We cover this other 5. All right, and Mercy, she is going to need to cover that 4, so what can she play to do that? Let's see. We could just have her do... We'll have her do the same thing again. Streetwise and throw hands, and that means Cochise will get 1 card back, and she can roll 2 die. So we'll give Cochise his Intimidate card back. And Mercy can roll 2 die, and hopefully she can get a 4 or more. If she gets at least a 3, then we can use throw hands to make that a success. And we get a 6, so we're good. Covered that. Baseball Furies have been defeated. Nice. All right, so let's recharge the weapons here. Those are back. Cool. Remove all the little X's. Backstreets is gone. All right, Turnbull ACs is next. So now we shuffle this gang deck just a little bit. So we can pull another fresh one the next time we do a fight against the Turnbull ACs. Okay. All right, so since Mercy is still instigator, she gets to move first in the city phase. Let's see. Might as well have her go here to the weapon spot, because that way she draws one bopper card, and it is a threat, so she gets that, but she can also grab another Molly. Okay. And there's the brass knuckles. Okay, so that's the one that we want next for Mercy, so we can have all 4 weapons. Cochise can move to, if he moves to this discard pile spot, it is a threatening spot, but he will get his one remaining card back. Here's a fight token right here, though. So since Cochise is kind of low on cards, he only has 5 of them. It would be really nice. I think maybe Cochise will have to move here, and then we could have Mercy move here. But if she moves here, then that potentially starts a fight. Although she can get one of her cards back. But yeah, we're on Cochise, and he's going to move here so that he can get another war card. Bopper card says the fuzz. So Cochise has 1 threat, but he does get to draw 1 war card. So let's give him that baseball bat card since he has a baseball bat. Okay, we got yet another snow baseball bat card on top of that one. All right. So that was Cochise. Now Mercy can either start another fight or potentially start another fight, but get a card back. Or we could have her rest, and then Cochise could start the fight. That might be better because Mercy has a lot of cards in her discard pile. So we could have her rest, and that would mean she'd only have to draw 1 bopper card. Let's do it that way, because we've already had a bunch of extra fights. So she'll rest. We pull 1 bopper card. That is her second threat. And bring all her cards back. We need to toss another random one out. Okay, that's yet another throw hands. That is removed from the game, and then Cochise is going to start this fight with Turnbull ACs. Okay. All right. So the location is the platform. All right, and let's see. Oh, we forgot to move the positioning here. So Warriors are now in the number 2 slot. Turnbull ACs are in the lead spot. So We are going to need to get that rep spot this time. All right. Cochise is the instigator as well, so he goes first now. We need 5 spots. Let's see. Cochise. Yeah, that rep spot is 6. So I think what we might want to consider... Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Cochise has a baseball bat equals any weapon. That could come in handy. That means he could use this card to cover one of the weapon spots. We can also play Intimidation, and since he has 1 threat, we can actually roll 3 die for just 1 card. So we're definitely, I think we're going to start with that. He plays that all by itself, and we're going to get 3 die for that. Let's hope we can cover that rep spot by getting a 6. And we do get a 6, so we do get to cover the rep spot. Cool. All right, so that was Cochise. Starting strong. We can use Mercy's Molly to cover 1 spot. Should we do that? Although if we play Streetwise again, Cochise gets another card back. So that might be good. Let's do that. We'll have her play Streetwise and Throw Hands. Get herself 2 die. Oh, I forgot to look at the special rule here. Before the fight, the instigator chooses a warrior in their neighborhood. That warrior discards a random card. Okay, so Mercy has to get rid of 1 random card, basically. She has to discard it. Okay, so it's Throw Hands. That one is in the discard pile as well, but yeah, Cochise gets 1 card back since Mercy played Streetwise. And Mercy is going to get to roll 2 die now to see if she can cover another number space. We get a 3 and a 4. So we might as well cover that 4 spot up here. So that is good. Okay. So that was Mercy. And now we can do Cochise again, who... Let's see. Yeah, we can do this one. Baseball bat equals any weapon. And he can cover this spot here. All right. And then we go back to Mercy, and we want to see... We need to cover one of the number spots with her, or we can use the Molly to get that chain spot. I kind of want to use that Molly. If we have her use that Molly, she can potentially, if we move her to that that weapon spot up here in a bit, she could get those brass knuckles. So let's do that. She'll use the Molly, and that covers that spot. And now we go back to Cochise, and he just needs to get a 3 or more, basically, and we're good. So let's say he could play this one card and use his chain to get 2 die, and he just needs to get a 3 or more. And he does. He gets 2 3s, so we're good. All right. So we have won this fight. Turnbull ACs are at the bottom now, and Warriors are at the top of the track. Let's try to keep it that way, but if we lose and or run from a fight, we're going to lose some rep. Running is totally an option now, though, since we're at the highest spot, basically. Don't have to worry about rep too much. All right, let's put this stuff away and see what the next gang is. It is not the Lizzies. It is the Rogues. Okay. All right, so there's that. And, okay, so we refresh the weapons for Cochise. He was the instigator, so he moves now. Where should we have him go? Okay, I really want to have him move, I think, to this next war card space. It is a threatening space, and we do need to draw 2 bopper cards. So one is the Gramercy Rifts, that's 2 threats. And one is the Orphans, that is 3 threats. Okay. So that means another fight, but Cochise can score himself yet another war card that he desperately needs. Okay. All right. And if this is your 3rd threat, use a weapon. So Cochise is going to have to choose which weapon he won't have for this fight. What's the location? It's the platform again. So we need brass knuckles or switchblade. So which weapon could count as any? Chain. All right. How about we say Cochise can't use the baseball bat? All right. And now we have to take all the bopper cards and shuffle them back on the bopper deck. Which means Cochise does not have any active threats, and his intimidation attack is going to be kind of useless. Whatever. Them's the breaks. We got him another war card. All right. Cochise is once again instigator. And we're going up against the Rogues. We could decide to run, though. And I think we might as well. Because that way I can show you how that works. And it's pretty easy. So we just put this platform away. We just run away from the Rogues on the platform. And what we're going to do is we have to put a bottle token on the board representing that we have chosen to run once. We're going to lose some rep for that. So we basically trade places with the Lizzies. The Lizzies is now they are now in the top spot. But Cochise did get his extra war card. And that's what happened. So, we're going to recharge his weapon for now. And we're going to go back to Mercy, and we can either have her go to that discard spot or the war card spot. She already has 2 threats. Let's have her go to the war card spot, I suppose. Bopper card. Coast is clear, so everything's good. And Mercy gets to choose another war card. I might as well choose one of these Switchblade ones. Does she already have? Yeah, she does. Let's choose Switchblade can equal 2 die for her. Draw another Warriors card. Cool. All right. So that was Mercy. And we're going to have Cochise move to the subway, which means nothing happens. We go right back to Mercy. And we're going to have her move to the weapon spot. That means she's going to have to draw another bopper card. That is the fuzz. Okay, so third threat, a fight happens. She has to roll a die for each of her weapons, and on a 1 or 2, remove it from the game, then you're challenged to a fight. It's a 3, so she's good. Cool. And since it was a weapon spot, she gets to pick up the brass knuckles before the fight begins. All right. So I think we're going to have to do this one. If we run from this one, then we have to put another bottle token on the board, and we go down 2 rep spots, which means we're going down to slot 4, which is where we started the game. So we might as well try to knock out the rogues. They are lower rep, so this shouldn't be too hard. All right. We're fighting in the park. Okay. So let's see here. Mercy should be the instigator because she started this fight. And we've got to reshuffle the bopper deck yet again. Ugh. Shuffled. Fine. So, Mercy, what does she do? She has most of her war cards and 2 weapons. Should almost certainly do weapons here. Let's see. So I'll get us 2 easy hits. Brass knuckles. Boom. Cochise can play chain equals any weapon to cover that switchblade spot there. Okay. Now we need a couple of 4s and we're good. Okay. So Mercy can play... Yeah, might as well. We'll have her play Streetwise and... Or you could just have her play this card. Switchblade equals 2 die. Use the switchblade and she gets to roll 2 die. Simple as. She needs a 4 or more. And she gets 2 6s. Okay, it's a good thing we weren't going up against the Lizzies. The rogues, it's just you can't roll more than 2 die. So we do get to cover this 4 space, and now we need one of those numbered spaces on the bottom there. So we're going back to Cochise, who might as well do something similar. He also has a baseball bat equals 2 die. So we'll use his baseball bat and that card and roll another 2 die. We need a 4 or more. And we get a 1 and a 2. So Cochise has been knocked out. That's not great. Okay. So we go back to Mercy. Let's see. Let's play Take the Lead and Streetwise for 3 die, and Cochise gets a card back. Which card would Cochise like back? Let's do chain equals 2 die. All right, and now Mercy gets to roll. Well, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I forgot about that. We can only roll 2 die anyway. Too late. I played those, so we only get to roll 2 die. At least Cochise does get a card back. We need a 4 or more. And we get a 5 and a 2, so we are good. Cool. So it doesn't really matter that much that Cochise got knocked out. We won. Harry, what's going on? What's going on, Harry? Here you go, buddy. There you go. All right, Harry loves to play. Anyway, that fight is over. Take all the X's off. Park is gone. Rogues are gone. Next gang is the Lizzies. Okay. All right. So everybody gets their weapons back. Mercy is instigator, so she moves. She's kind of low on war cards, so we might want to have her rest. Yeah, I think we're going to have her rest. So she's going to need to draw 1 bopper card, and that is a threat. But she does get her discard pile back, and we're going to have to remove 1 random card from her hand from the game. And it's throw hands. So that is gone forever. Okay, Mercy rested. Next, we're going to have Cochise. I think we'll have him move to the discard spot, and then Mercy can start the next fight, I suppose. So Cochise moves here, and he can get 1 of his cards back after we draw a bopper, and it is coast is clear, so he does not have a threat. We almost wanted him to have like a threat, but he doesn't, so whatever. He gets 1 card back, though, from his discard pile. Can we choose? Yeah, we should have 1 any weapon card, so we'll do chain equals any weapon. That's cool. He gets that back, and then Mercy goes to the fight. Should she go to the fight? Yeah, might as well. If I have her go to the subway space, then Cochise starts the fight. Like it's fine. Mercy goes to the fight. We're gonna start the fight. Cool. Since both warriors are in the same neighborhood, they both get to participate in this fight. Once we go to downtown, practically every space is threatening, so things are going to get a little bit more challenging here. But for now, we are going up against the Lizzies, and if we take them out, we get to go back to the top of the track. And that means we can probably afford to run from at least 1 more fight, I guess. Yep. Perhaps. Anyway, location is Subway. All right. So there's that. Mercy is instigator, so she starts. Higher rep, so we need to cover the rep spot. On each turn of this fight, discard. Yep, we can't get any doubles. That's the rule here. So what do we do first? We can cover Switchblade and Knuckles. Mercy could use Brass Knuckles to cover that one spot down there. Yep. Cochise could use his baseball bat. Yeah, he might as well. He'll use his baseball bat to cover this other spot right here. And now that means does Mercy have a Switchblade equals any weapon? She does. Okay. She could play that. But then again, do we also have Switchblade equals 2 die? We do. We do have that. Okay. I think I'll have... Okay. Here's what we'll do. We can play that. And then also... That would give us 2 die if we use the Switchblade. And we can also play Streetwise to give us 3 die. And at the same time, Cochise gets another one of his war cards back. This Streetwise thing is coming in handy. So he can get, let's see. Might as well take Throw Hands back. Because he's used his baseball bat. But then again, yeah, we'll take one of his baseball bat cards back. Baseball bat equals 2 die. Anyway, so Mercy can now roll 3 die. Let's see if she can get that rep spot for 5 or more. And she does. Okay, cool. So we cover that. Now, let's see. Cochise. He can use chain equals any weapon to cover that brass knuckles. Could do that, and then we just need a 4 or more to win. Yeah. Might as well do that. All right, so we'll play chain equals any weapon, use chain, brass knuckles is covered. Now we go back to Mercy. She needs to get us a 4 or more. Okay. So what can she play? She could play Take the Lead to roll 2 die. Does she have any more? She has another Streetwise, so we could play Streetwise with Throw Hands. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll play both of these. And that way she can roll 2 die, but Cochise also can take a card back yet again. And we'll give him back his chain equals any weapon card, I suppose. All right, so now Mercy rolls 2 die, and let's see if she can get a 4 or more. She gets a 3 and a 2. So that means she needs to play Throw Hands. She does have Throw Hands. She can remove that from the game. And that basically turns that 3 into a 4. So she's done that. We've won the fight. Cool. All right. So let's remove all of the X's. Goodbye to the location. And the gang. What is the next gang? The punks. Okay, cool. So, recharge all the weapons. Mercy is instigator. So where is she moving? She does have 1 threat, so we need to keep that in mind. think what we might have her do is go to maybe the discard slot. That is... Oh, right. We need to move, too. Lizzie's is at the bottom. Warriors are at the top. Everybody else moves up one spot because of the way that fight went last time. Okay. And let's see. Mercy... Yeah, we'll have her go to this discard pile thing, and one bopper card is the fuzz. Next one is Coast is Clear. So she's got 2 threats, but she's good. She's good, and she gets to draw 1 card back from her discard, and we're definitely getting a Streetwise back. That's for sure. That just really comes in handy. So we'll move Cochise again. He definitely needs some more war cards, so we're going to draw 2 bopper cards for him. One is Coast is Clear, and the next one is Coast is Clear. Great. So nothing happens, but he doesn't have any threats. So now he gets to choose another war card to get back, or a new one to get, I should say. And hey, we've got yet another Chain Equals Any Weapon card. So hell yeah, we'll take that for him. That'd be cool. Okay, so now Mercy can go. I think we will have her go to maybe the war card, the normal war card slot. Yeah, let's have her go to the normal war card slot, and or we could have her go to the normal discard slot, and Cochise could go to the normal war card slot. Yeah. She goes to the normal discard slot, and then she gets 1 back, but we need to draw 1 bopper card for her, and it is Coast is Clear, so nothing happens. Cool. We don't start another fight, and she gets 1 card back from her discard pile. We are almost certainly going to take Streetwise again. Cool. So she only has 2 cards in her discard pile. Cochise can now move up to this normal war card spot. And let's see here. So he needs to draw 1 bopper card, and that is Coast is Clear. Cochise is not getting any threats. So let's see. He gets to draw another war card. Let's see. What is on offer? You have Tagging the City. When this is played, we should almost certainly take this one, I think. This is played, you may roll an additional die for each neighborhood you've moved into. So that might be, let's just say it's 3. 3 extra die is already a lot. We moved into this one, and this one. So that is 3. Anyway, so that is Cochise. We can have Mercy either move to the threatening spot and risk another fight to get a new war card. She's got 5 of them. No, 6 of them. 2 in her discard pile. Cochise is looking pretty good. He's got 8 in his hand and 2 in the discard pile. So getting Mercy another war card would be good. Screw it. Let's have her go there. And we do need to draw 2 bopper cards, and we may need to run away from a fight here. Coast is clear, and the fuzz. So if this is your 3rd threat, roll a die for each of your weapons. If you roll 1 or 2, remove it from the game. Okay, so since she has 2 weapons, we need to roll a die. We get a 4, so the switchblade is good. And we get a 1, so her brass knuckles are gone. The cops took her brass knuckles. Okay, so there is that, and we're up against the punks. So location card says bathroom. Okay. Let's see here. Should we run? Because we're going to need to do this one, and then right after this fight, it's going to be the final showdown. So if we do this fight, then we're basically doing 3 fights in a row. If we run away from this fight, though, or the next one, the final showdown is going to be a little harder. So screw it. We might as well just do this fight, or we're not really going to get a chance to rest before these next 2 fights. Screw it. Let's just run. We're going to run, and it'll take us down 2 spots. Not the end of the world, though. We will run from this fight. So we're not fighting them in the bathroom. And we do have to go down 2 slots. Meaning punks will be a higher rep once we fight them. And probably going to have to fight the hi-hats as the final gang. So, okay. That happened. We ran away. We aren't going to be able to do that again. So, let's go to Cochise. He's going to go here and get 1 card back from his discard pile. Might as well get the baseball bat equals any weapon card. All right, and he draws 1 bopper card, which is Coast is Clear. Funny how that works out. We actually kind of want Cochise to get threats to make his intimidation special attack a little bit better, but he just keeps drawing Coast is Clear cards. So, okay, that's fine. We'll take it. All right, so Mercy is going to need to start this next fight. Oh, and we're also, since she got those 3 threats, we need to reshuffle this bopper deck. All right. Where are we fighting the punks now? The back streets. Okay. So they done caught up with us. We were gonna fight them in a bathroom, but we managed to escape, only to be cornered once again in the back streets. Okay, Mercy is instigator once again, and we're gonna do this fight. So we're on Mercy. She moves here. Remove this fight token. We got to take out the punks now. Okay, and their special rule is before the fight, the instigator chooses a warrior. Okay, Cochise is going to have to discard 2 cards. That is not great. We get to choose which 2 cards he discards, though. They do not have to be at random. So we can get rid of, I don't know, get rid of 1 chain equals any weapon. And we'll also get rid of How about baseball bat equals any weapon? All right. Great. I do live in an apartment building, so I don't know if y'all can hear. Somebody is drilling in the apartment above me, so there's that. Let's do this fight. We got 2 more fights, and then the game is over pretty much. So let's try to wrap this up. Okay, so we're starting with Mercy doing the punks. We can get 3 spots just using weapons cards. So maybe we can figure out how to do that to make this one pretty quick. Now, unfortunately, Mercy did lose those brass knuckles right before the fight. So she can cover the switchblade, and Cochise could, I think, cover the other 2. Yeah, he has chain equals any weapon. And we need to cover that rep spot as well. So someone's going to need to get a 5 at some point. But let's start off with Mercy and her switchblade, and we cover that spot. Then Cochise goes, and let's see. We don't have baseball bat equals any weapon, but we do have chain equals any weapon. So let's do chain equals any weapon, use the chain, and he covers the brass knuckle spot. Now, Mercy does not have any weapons, so we kind of need to choose. We might as well play a streetwise plus throw hands to give her 2 die. Okay. This is her final throw hands card, though. So if she fails this roll for the number, then she's just kind of knocked out. But she gets 2 die if we play it like this, and Cochise will get another card back from his discard pile. So maybe we can say he gets throw hands. How about chain equals any weapon? Yeah, let's give him his chain equals any weapon card back. All right, so now Mercy gets to roll 2 die, and we need to see if she can cover. She needs to get at least 4 or more. And she got snake eyes, so she gets knocked out. That is not great. Okay, Mercy is knocked out. If we lose this fight, it's not terrible. We go down 1 spot, and that's pretty much it. Because the bottles only mean something if you run. So we only go down 1 if we just lose normally. But back to Cochise, he now needs to cover like 3 spots to win this fight here. So he could use his baseball bat to cover 1 spot, but then he would need to roll a 4 and then a 5. Now we could use this tagging the city card to just play it all by itself, and he would get to roll like, I think 4 die total. That would be pretty good. Let's do that, and then we can cover the rep spot with just 1 card, and then flip the baseball bat, and then he just needs to get 1 4. All right, so we're gonna roll 4 die, and we need to get a 5 or more. And we got 2 6s and a 5, so we are good. So we cover the rep spot. All right. We use the baseball bat to cover the baseball bat spot. And Now we need to decide which cards to play so that we might as well try just playing one intimidation card to see if we can roll 2 die and get a 4 or more. Mercy can potentially save him by playing Take the Lead, I think. Except I don't think that could happen because Mercy is just out of the fight and she can't play cards anymore. We get a 3 and a 2. So that's unfortunate. That means we've lost this fight. Unless... See, I'm not sure if... No, it makes sense that Mercy wouldn't be able to, because basically if Mercy plays Take the Lead, that represents her like helping Cochise out. And if she's been knocked out, she just can't do that. Cochise gets knocked out as well, which means we lose the fight. So we have lost this fight. That means we have to go down 1 spot in rep. And that's not terrible. I mean, even if we beat the punks, we were still gonna have to fight the hi-hats, but now that fight is going to be a little bit more difficult because we have 3 gangs ahead of us rep-wise. So we'll see how this final fight works now. All right. So now that that fight is over, we got to turn over all the weapons cards and decide what to do next. Let's see here. Mercy is still the instigator. So... I think what we might do is just have her move to Coney Island, and then Cochise can move to this spot to grab himself another war card, and then we'll do the final fight. All right. So Mercy goes to Coney Island. Cochise goes down here. We got to draw 2 bopper cards. We get Coast is Clear. Okay, and we get 1 threat. So that's actually good because now Cochise can roll an extra die when he plays an intimidation card. Does he even have an intimidation card left? I sure hope so. Yes, he has 1 left. And now we get to choose baseball bat equals any weapon, or how many throw hands cards does he have? He has 1. You could take throw hands, or we could take baseball bat equals any weapon. We should probably take baseball bat equals any weapon, because I don't think we're going to get a chance to rest before this final fight. So we'll just take this one. And all right, so now since Mercy moved here, that means she is like out of the city phase until Cochise can catch up with her. So Cochise has the option of either moving to start the final fight, or we can have him rest. And I think we will have him rest so that he can get like all of his cards back. And we just have to discard 1 of them, but we also have to draw 1 bopper card. And that is a threat. So now Cochise has 2 threats. Oh, wait. He's on a threatening space. That means he needs to draw another one. Ugh. And it's the 3rd threat. So... damn it. All right, let's get rid of 1 at random. It's the baseball bat equals any weapon. That's the one that we just got. Oh boy. We can either run and go down 3. We are not running. We cannot afford to run. Oh, I think we forgot to do this. Let's put that back, this back. Next gang is the Baseball Furies. Okay. And the location for this potential fight is the platform. Okay. Yeah, we have to do this fight. We have to. We don't want to go down 3 spots. So we're going to need to, since this is Gramercy Riffs, we have to keep this. I forget now what the last one was. We're going to assume it's this one. And that just means we need to keep it instead of shuffling it back in the bopper deck. Then you're challenged to a fight. Okay. So we're going to reshuffle this. And now, since Furies are lower rep, we won't be going up in rep, but Cochise just needs to cover 3 spots, and we're good. So he could play, let's see. I want to keep this tagging the city one. And the intimidation one, I think. We can do chain equals any weapon, and okay, good. First we'll say chain equals any weapon and get that spot. Oh, and we can, since it's Baseball Furies, we can only use 1 weapon. All right. So that means we can cover this spot. Ooh, baseball bat equals 2. Yeah, we do. We just need a 3 and a 4, and then we won the fight, basically. So let's play. I do not want to use. It's fine. If he loses, we just go down. Do I have? Looks like I have 2 intimidation cards. How did that happen? Hoping I did not take some cards from his discard pile. Oh, wait, right. Now I remember. We rested, and this is why this is happening. So let's play. Do I have any? No, I don't have any repeat cards. Let's just play this card for one die and see if that does it. He needs a 3 or more. And we do get a 3. Cool. So that means we can cover that spot. And then we'll try to do this again with chain equals any weapon, I guess. Or chain, how about chain equals 2 die? So that he can roll 1 die, and he needs to get a 4 more. Well, at least a 3. Because I can burn a throw hands to make that a 4. And he gets knocked out. Yep, he gets knocked out. Oh, that was so close. Okay, well, that means we go down 1 rep spot. And the final fight is going to be a doozy. Okay, so put Instigator over here. And what this basically means is we got to start the final showdown now. That's what we've got to do. Cochise is just going to move here now. And we're going to start the final showdown. So put these X's away. Put the platform away. We are fighting the hi-hats because you have to fight the gang with the highest rep for the final showdown. Okay. That was going to be the next gang anyway, apparently. It was the hi-hats. All right. And then we grab the special Coney Island showdown for the location, basically. All right. So now we are in the final showdown, and the game is almost over, y'all. Okay. Cochise is Instigator. Since we have 4 gangs ahead of us in rep, we need to cover 4 rep spots rather than just 1, basically. So let's do this. We'll try to start out strong with Cochise, and we'll have him play tagging the city, which means he'll get to do a big attack, rolling 4 dice at 1 by just playing 1 card. That's pretty cool. Hopefully we can get one of those 6s on the bottom there for rep. And we get a 5, so that can cover one of the 5s for rep. All right, so that's 1 hit. So let's move to Mercy. Let's see. She does not have that many cards. So we can have her play the Switchblade to just get the weapon spot, though. We could do that. Play her Switchblade, and we get this weapon spot up here. That is what Mercy did. Okay. So now we will go back to Cochise, and he can play Intimidation, and that will net him 3 die because he's got that 1 threat from the rifts. Okay, can we get a 6? We got a 4, so that's something. We'll cover. We might as well cover this spot. We have to cover those 2 spots anyway. So now we got to work on the location tile. We're going to need 2 normal spots, and we need, I think, 3 more rep spots, and we're good. So Cochise could do 2 weapons, perhaps. Let's see here. He could use baseball bat. And yeah, he does have chain equals any weapon. So that would get us 2 of these spots here. Cochise can do baseball bat to cover this spot. And now Mercy can play, I guess, we could have her play streetwise and take the lead at the same time. She could roll 3 die and Cochise would get a card back. So that's probably a good play. Cochise can probably take tagging the city back. That is a damn good card. Yeah, if we have to choose just one card to get back, we'll get that one back. All right. So she can roll 3 die now, and we'll see if we can cover another one of these number spots. Oh, we get a 6. Okay, so we can cover another one of these 6 rep spots on the bottom here. Nice. All right, and back to Cochise, we can use his chain equals any weapon in combination with his chain to cover this spot right here. Boom. All right. So that's the 2 normal spots, and we've covered 2 rep spots. We just need to do 2 more rep spots, and we're good. All right, so now we'll have Mercy go again. And let's see. All right, we might as well have her go all out. She's going to play her final war cards so that she can roll 3 die. And I kind of forgot the special rule. We can't use throw hands cards to save ourselves here. Okay, so we just need a 4 or more. And we get it. We get a 4 and a 6. So we might as well cover one of these 6s down here. That is covered. Okay. All right, so now Cochise can just play tagging the city, and he can roll 4 die, and that's probably going to win us the game, because he just needs to get us a 4 or more. And he gets a 5 and a 6. Well, 2 6s and a 5, so that is awesome. That means we can cover this 5 spot, and we have won the game, y'all. Cool. Yep, it's that simple. We done won the game. All right, hold the phone. Let me pause real quick. All right, back. So, well, that is it for this time, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the game. I want to thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. Please do all the YouTube things if you would be so kind. Like, comment, or maybe even subscribe if you like my stuff. If you want to see what I'm up to, I'm trying to read the script on my little Chromebook here. Like, comment, or maybe even subscribe if you like my stuff. I already said that. If you want to see what I'm up to, I am on Blue Sky. There's a link for that in the description. I mostly post any work for the channel there, plus cute pictures of my cat Harry, who is incredibly cute, by the way. He's a little guy. I love him to pieces. Anyway, if you have some money to spare and you like what I do, please consider clicking the donation link. That is for Ko-fi, Ko-fi. That link is going to be in the description if you want to throw me a few bucks. There are also links to other good causes in the description as well. Democratic Socialists of America is trying to do some good work. I'm a member of them, by the way. It's a pretty cool organization if you're some kind of a lefty that hang out and meet some new people, do some cool stuff. And it'd be good for you to help out the working class here in the U.S. That is what they are trying to do. So if you could help them do that, that would be awesome. Because I mentioned this before, but things are kind of bad here in America in a lot of ways, but especially for poor and working class people, which is me, kind of. I just clean toilets. I don't make that much money. Things aren't looking great, and we need to start pushing back here. You know, we can't just keep putting up with all this stuff that these rich people are doing to us. All right, if you know, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, we got to do something. So there's that link. Now, I'm also linking a good Palestine relief aid organization that mostly focuses on medical aid. Israel is trying to wipe Palestine off the map, y'all. And if you can find it in your heart to donate, then maybe you can help save some folks over there in the Gaza Strip and or the West Bank. Those are two tiny little areas that technically is all that's left of Palestine. What was Palestine? Gaza Strip is nothing but a bunch of rubble at this point, and we don't really have an accurate count on how many people have died over there in what is clearly a genocide that has been going on for quite some time. 100 years, really. Honestly, that's settler colonialism for you. Happened here in this country too with the Native Americans. If you didn't know that, you know, just Google that, the Native American genocide. If anyway, this is the issue of our time, y'all. It's kind of a big deal. So please consider helping the oppressed people of Palestine for no other reason than it is the right thing to do. So as I've said before, I'll say it again. If you don't have the time or the money to help me and my little channel, click on those links and help some of those causes. If you would be so kind, that would be awesome. Anyway, I'ma see y'all when I see you. Take it easy and take care of each other, y'all.